Plenty of footy on the deck, but Andrew McLeod and Mark Rashudo probably the two of the best wet weather footballers in the competition, so it will certainly help Adelaide. Mark Stevens, as was suggested, has gone back, and Lee Colbert reacquaints himself with Wayne Carey.
Mark Stevens got the job on Severio Rocker as we get set for this round 21 clash. Huge game for the Crows, sitting in second spot with Port Adelaide to come next week. Umpire throws it up to begin proceedings. Porter. Big fist towards centre-half forward for the Kangaroos. Smart will get the first effective disposal. No, he won't. He's taken down by Brown. Rashudo fires out a handball to Burton. He's got some men in some space at centre-half back. McLeod. Robbins to beat. Keeps the ball in front of him. It's going to be on the deck for much of the afternoon, you'd expect. Robbins, handball smothered by McLeod. Comes back to Tawney. Tumbles it towards half-forward. Carey on the half-volley. Colbert takes him down. Brilliant tackle. Held it a long time. Perry's got it now from 55. Goes to the goal square. Laddams and Makepeace. It's a goal! Great start to the Crows. Ian Perry. Quick movement into the forward line. Thought Lee Colbert was a little bit stiff there, Chris. He held Wayne Carey an awful long time without Wayne getting rid of it.
Certainly had Wayne Carey for ages in the tackle. Maybe didn't retard him, but certainly had hold of the jumper long enough for that to be called holding the ball. Significantly, Carey goes to ground early in this game, and Ian Perry's just been a real revelation for the Crows this year. Had a little flat spot mid-season, but his goal kicking has improved so much. That is a fantastic kick and a great start to the Crows.
The Adelaide Crows have been great starters, won their last 10 first quarters. They're the best starting team in the AFL. The Kangaroos, well, they're equal worst, so this first term will be vital.
What a start for Adelaide, what a start for Perry. Ball bounced in the middle again. Smart tackle, brought to the ground. Spillage important here. Tawney, high kick, and very high and too wide, out of bounds on the full. Rawlings to take the free kick. Full house at Amy Stadium. And such an important game for Adelaide as Rawlings goes long toward left half. Well, there's a strong grab up in front taken by Motlop. Eventually, though, Adelaide come away with it. And Burton's got the footy. Burton kicks it downfield. Carey marks. Diving. About 85 from goal. Short passes to Biglands. Porter stands the mark. Biglands 60 from goal. Biglands, long kick. That's a good leg. That's a massive leg. Touched. Right on the line. Massive kick from Biglands, just coming up short.
Biglands certainly give the ball a roost. The two significant tagging responsibilities for Adelaide. Robert Shirley's got the job on Brett Harvey. Tyson Stengline on Daniel Wells is an interesting one, showing young fella great respect.
Well, what a start for the Adelaide Crows. Gone 2 3/4 minutes. Possessions 11-1 in favour of Adelaide. King played on, went long towards the wing. There's the other King, Wayne Carey. Wrapped up by Porter, and we'll have a bounce.
Promising signs from Wayne Carey. Had a pretty tough game against Collingwood last week. As we said, didn't go to ground at all last week in a whole game of football. Hit the deck a couple of times today, but more importantly, getting his hands on the ball. He looks a lot sharper today.
And there's that danger of the wound on his knee reopening. Something he's going to have to play with for the next 6 weeks. And just hope for the best. Rashudo dives in on top of it. Bigland's in there as well. Good one over the football. There's the Adelaide bench. Matthew Clark, Burns, Begley and Bickley. Rain just eased a little bit now. Bigland's a tap. Harvey went off the deck. It's the advantage of David King if he can keep it in. He can just. And Massey takes it over. Out of bounds on the full. It's come off the Massey boot as he slid over the line. And a free kick going to Jeremy Clayton. Wants to play on to King. Tumbles one inside 50. Petrie caught at the back of McGregor. McGregor dished off through the hands of Rashudo to Goodwin. Adelaide a chance now. Biglands back to Goodwin. Towards half forward, just too much carry on the kick for Welsh. And Makepeace will go wide and find King again for his 4th touch. Important role this afternoon in the absence of Sinclair and Stevens. Senior players must stand up. Makepeace ran on for him. And marks the front edge of the centre square. Wants to play on. He's got a man out wide. It was a good kick, and he finds Simpson, who plays on, runs to 35. Adam Simpson goes for goal, and the Roos have got there first. Important goal for the Kangaroos to settle early. They don't want to get blown away. We've mentioned, Chris, they've been terrible starters, and particularly just about a packed house here at Amy Stadium. You've got to stay in the game.
Certainly do. Important goal early for Adam Simpson. Most important thing for the Kangaroos is to use the ball well. Try and make peace. Adam Simpson on that occasion, kicking the ball beautifully. There's been a criticism of Adelaide this year. It's been they've allowed too many soft goals, and that one was a pretty soft one for the Kangaroos.
Adelaide by 1 point. Bounce of the ball in the middle. Porter might have won it. Shirley's had a good season. He's been tagging brilliantly. The hand pass was a beauty too to Goodwin, and Goodwin finishes magnificently. What a goal! What a goal from Goodwin. It's 2-1. Adelaide Kangaroos 1 goal.
Simon Goodwin just started to show some signs of form last week in the last quarter against Collingwood. He struggled a little bit with the leg injury. It started to move a lot freer last week. And on the run, there's not too many better kicks in the competition. Robert Shirley getting involved in that passage of play with his beautiful quick hands, the real strength of Adelaide. Their ball use second to none in the competition, and the sign of a good team that can reply pretty quickly to the goal.
Back in the middle, Bigland's got hands on the ball again to Goodwin. He's taken down through the hands of Jones. Robbins harassed by McLeod. Grant in there as well, and a secondary bounce. Here's the Kangaroo bench. 3 youngsters and some experience. Simpson. Raking kick inside 50 to the pocket for Rocker. Just got a hand on it. We'll have a throw in. Severio Rocker spent 2 weeks in the VFL. Kicked 5 last week for Port Melbourne to earn a recall. Out of contract at the end of the season. The Kangaroos have been non-committal to this stage. So needs a good fortnight. Motlop flew high. Rasciuto tackled by Rocker. Bode, he's tackled as well by Rocker, working hard, the big man. And another ball up, about 25 metres out from the Kangaroo goal. Matthew Bode last to get up. Quick fire opening. Last couple of minutes just stagnated a little. Simpson in over the top of it. Bode in on him. Illegally, said the umpire. Some downward pressure. And Adam Simpson will go back and shoot for goal as we head down to Troy Gray.
And Harvey, the #1 ball winner for the Kangaroos, has been dragged from the ground already, straight onto the phone to Coach Dean Laidley, and he's not happy, disgusted, threw the phone down. So it looks like the junkyard dog Dean Laidley not accepting anything but the best from his charges today.
So Simpson, he's kicked 1. Just nine goals for the season. Tries to sneak it inside the right post, but can't quite. Opportunity goes begging for the Kangaroos. Shane Clayton sits down. Maybe the Crows to bring it back into play through the skipper.
So Mark Rasciuto to himself, and then decides to head to the flank on the far side. Good distance with the kick, 2 or 3 up. Petrie at the back, spoiling. Stenglein attempted to kick away. Eventually they come away, the Kangaroos. This is Motlop, has a shot, and it comes up short and wide, and it's out of bounds. That's Worles getting his hands to it, and that's Motlop, who was the player who got it into that forward pocket. And there's Brown, just has a few problems. 13-7, Adelaide in front. There's Brown trying to work it away, might have just knocked his shin on Bigland's. Rasciuto tried to work it, just fumbled. Robbins in there as well, Tawney tackled, brought to the turf. Can't do anything constructive with that football, and the umpire to bounce. Scoring range for the Kangaroos. Kangaroos with 5 more tackles so far than Adelaide. Rasciuto from Biglands. Rasciuto outside the defensive 50. Laddams to Bode. Now they've got a chance as he gets around King with relative ease. Spins beautifully and then sends it into the middle for Welsh. Good to see him back. A man's running downfield all by himself. Here's danger now for the Kangaroos as Burton's got it. Runs to 50. Nonchalantly kicks a goal. How easy was that for Adelaide and Burton?
A couple of highlight reel goals for the Adelaide Crows early on. And you'll see all the highlights from all 8 games of footy right across the weekend. Sunday nights at 7:30 on the Winners, exclusive to Fox Footy. But Chris, the sign's just a little dangerous for the Roos at the moment. Some lack of pressure in their own defensive half.
Yeah, too easy that one, and it all started from a restart inside 50 for the Kangaroos, where the Crows are absolutely dominant. Big Land's getting the ball down to Mark Rashudo, far too easy. No one near Brett Burton, and that looks like danger to me.
So a few concerns for Dean Laidley. A couple of very low-pressure goals to the Adelaide Crows. They lead by 12 points through the hands of Simpson to Grant. Pressure from Biglands. Jones was taken high, got the kick away to centre-half forward. Spills to the back of the contest for Massey and Clayton. Petrie there as well, taken down by McGregor. Smart working hard. Flips it to Massey. Now Rashuto. He dribbles it around the outer side. The bounce beats Burton, and we'll have a throw in.
And it's a problem with the Kangaroos. No Anthony Stevens, the player who does put real physical pressure and body pressure on your opposition. He's missing an important exclusion in the midfield. Crows getting far too much easy football at the moment.
Puts a lot of pressure on Simpson around the stoppage, as Simpson leads clearances for the year for the Kangaroos with 109. Stevens next with 68, so you can see the difference. Without Stevens there, a lot of work for Simpson to do this afternoon. The ball's with Burton. Simpson strains to get there. Just put some pressure on the kick. Rawlings, defensive 50. Handball to the voice of Colbert. Perry takes him down over the line. We'll have another throw in. Already seen the Crows starting to assert their dominance at the stoppages early on. That's an area where the Roos will have to work very hard this afternoon.
Especially in an area like this, we know how dangerous the Crows are from this position, just outside 50.
The best team in the competition from kicking goals from stoppages. This time it's Jones, puts his body over the ball for the Roos. Rawlings, quick hands to Grant. Now Harvey, across his body, towards the wing. Numbers with the Crows. Clayton did well to force a contest. Brought it to ground. Rashuto dived upon. And another bounce. There's Jeremy Clayton, playing his 4th game this afternoon, originally from North Ballarat. He'd be familiar with these conditions, cold and wet. Wouldn't worry him one bit as Lee Brown hacks it towards the boundary.
Yeah, it's a bit to like the way he goes about his footy too. Got beautiful hands, plays very well low to the ground. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but done some very nice stuff when he's got on the ground.
Mark Bickley on the phone. Biglands to the back of the contest this time. Simpson harassing Burton. Smart on the football to Rashuto, now to Shirley. Laddams taken down. Good tackle from Petrie, and the turnover comes to the Roos now for Harvey. Goes to Wells in the middle on the half volley. Simpson in there working overtime. He's taken down by Stenglein. Motlop and Smart. Smart goes back and wins it. It's a hot ball in there at the moment. Wells spills to Shirley. He's pressured by Robbins. Bode now. King the clean pick up one-handed. But he can't get away either. Runs to 55, gives it to Harvey. Now some space out wide for Jones. Can line it up, measures it from 40. Corey Jones misses. Just grazes the post. And the Roos did the hard work in close, just forced it forward with body pressure. Eventually kicked it wide to the open man, but Jones couldn't convert.
Spoke about Corey Jones in the pre-match, important player up forward for the Kangaroos, but you've got to finish and put pressure on Adelaide. A couple of opportunities the Kangaroos gone begging. Got to finish.
11 the difference, and Tawney goes to Shirley, and Shirley decides to go into the back pocket. Massey, 19 to 8. Massey across goal. Back to Shirley. Very good against Buckley last week in the first half. Out to Stevens, who hasn't played much footy this year. Been dogged by injury. John Cock, who's having an outstanding 2003. Can play down back or up forward. Short passing it down to a contest, and it's a Kangaroos mark. And it's Simpson who takes it at half-back. Off to Grant, perhaps their best player this year. And Grant plays on immediately and then gains 20 metres, kicks it well inside 50. Massey punching from behind, kicked away only about 20 metres from goal, so a scoring opportunity here for the Kangaroos. Petrie on the bottom of the pack, and the umpire pulls them all up and says, I'm going to bounce. Clayton is there as well, and so too McGregor. Umpire throws the footy up, not risking the bounce under these conditions. Here's Wells. What a talent this young man is. Swings it to a more central location. Here's a chance for King from Simpson. King has a shot, and King has missed to the right-hand side, but only just.
again, the Kangaroos just a fraction sloppy with their skills. We thought that may be the difference between the two teams. The Crows handle the ball beautifully and do kick extremely well to their targets. Kangaroos just a little offline early.
Shudo goes long to fellow veteran Nigel Smart. And he and Bickley go past Ben Hart again in the club games record this afternoon. It's been quite a battle between these three. Ben Hart missing with a quad injury. Carey, Porter at ground level to Simpson. Simpson and King have been very prominent early, 6 possessions apiece.
Be interesting to see how long the Crows can afford to leave Tyson Stenglein in a back pocket and not pick up Adam Simpson. He's an absolute accumulator of the football and of possession. Had 6 already, kicked a goal. How long can Gary Ayres let him run around like an unregistered?
Clark's come on for Biglands.
Porter the tap. It's all Adelaide. McLeod to Rasciuto. Towards half forward, Welsh caught from behind. Makepeace and Archer there. Free kick. It's going the way of the Roos. Advantage will be paid to Colbert. Towards half forward, Burton. The pressure came from Clayton. Had hold of one arm. Umpire called play on. Clark to Laddams. Pressure from Clayton. Motlop had Burton coming at him. And a throw in. Clayton off. Harris on for the Kangaroos, while Welsh comes off for Ronnie Burns. Clark over the top, down to Rasciuto, handball to absolutely no one. It was under enough pressure. The umpire didn't deem it deliberate.
It's a habit he's fallen into a little bit over the last month, 6 weeks. Getting plenty of position, just throwing it away with hand instead of choosing to kick the ball and get some distance.
Clark and Porter. Goes to the back, Clark. There's Simpson again. Another clearance for him to Motlop. He takes the mark on his chest. Need to move it quickly, the Kangaroos. Tumbling kick inside 50. Might work out all right. Clayton, it was touched off the boot. Wells, twisting and turning around Rasciuto, around Laddams. Handball back to Motlop. They're under pressure. Now Wells again. He's trying to create space. So they go backward and find Simpson. 8th touch. To the forward 50. Rawlings, the target, takes the mark. It was well judged. The pack was converging on him. Kept his eyes on the football and took a juggler. Brady Rawlings, too far out to score. Squares up to Simpson. There's holding. Free kick off the ball. Shepherding, in fact. It's going Adelaide's way. Oh, spectacular effort from the umpire. Umpire Michael Avon went crashing into Ronnie Burns. And down he went. Nothing untoward in that. But the free kick will come to Adelaide.
And again, a wasted opportunity for the Kangaroos. I think that might have gone through for a goal too, but the free kick to Adelaide. It's got to make them hurt.
Holding decision. It went to Ken McGregor, I think, about 20 metres out from goal as they were setting up for an illegal shepherd. Tawney now to McLeod. And Adelaide have pushed forward to create some space. Perry's the long lead. Watt, good hands to Makepeace. Around the boundary line, not a lot of space to work in. He finds the target. It's Brady Rawlings.
19-9, 10 the difference. Adelaide lead. And what have we played? About 18 minutes of the first quarter. Rawlings down to the wing, busy area, only a couple up in the end. Clark at the back of Porter, too much height. Umpire said play it on. Perry in the thick of it. He's got 3 to beat. Grant's one of them, Brown's another, and Harris is there as well. And Motlop is the 4th.
Chris, there are a few quick goals early in the game before both teams had settled, but now I think we're seeing the tempo at which this game will be played.
Yeah, absolutely. Kangaroos credit, they've wrestled it back. Certainly she's a 50-50 game now after the Crows blew it away early.
Rasciuto, one of a couple on the ground. Harris over the top. And Rasciuto to take the free kick. Not sure what that was for, perhaps a push. Bickley, who spent the first 10, 12 minutes on the bench. He generally starts the games on the bench now for Adelaide. Will he go on next year? That's the big question. Question about Smart as well, as to whether he will continue on as well. That kick by Bickley travelled about 30 metres over the line at right half forward for Adelaide. So they're about 75 metres from goal. Under 8 minutes remaining until quarter time. Conditions, well, they're not good. No rain at the moment, but it would be pretty slippery out there. Clark and Porter. And Simpson as well, and Rasciuto dragged to the ground by Robbins. And the umpire to throw it up again. This time about 80 metres from goal.
Yeah, conditions aren't great, but they're certainly not too bad. Mark Rasciuto, and Adam Simpson head-to-head, both getting plenty of the football.
King close to the line. Rasciuto with 9 disposals. Burton 6 and Shirley 5 for Adelaide. Simpson with 8. David King with 6 and Rawlings with 5 for the Kangaroos. There's the skipper for Adelaide and Simpson for the Kangaroos. Bickley. Burton, who kicked a spectacular goal earlier. Here's a chance now for Adelaide as Laddams kicks it looking for Carey, being held on to, but not according to the umpire. Over the line goes Colbert, the 2-2s there, Carey and Colbert, and the umpire to toss it in right forward pocket. So just a bit flat at the moment. Not a high-scoring game, as you can imagine, with these conditions prevailing. 3-1 to 1-3. McLeod, Rawlings, quickly jamming it onto the boot. Outside 50, but it went straight to an Adelaide player. Inside 50 for Burns, couldn't mark. Now a chance for Goodwin, 35-40 metres from goal. He was looking for, almost finding Perry. Gee, that was a big effort from Carey, but it hit the base of the goal post. That was a huge effort, but in the end it was a behind. 3-2 Adelaide, the Kangaroos 1-3.
Certainly moving a lot freer this week, Wayne Carey. Landing on top of that knee too, so giving it a test early.
Makepeace played onto himself, kicked it long, straight up the middle for the Roos. Harris's kick smothered by Clark. Ricochets to Rasciuto. Pass Goodwin, Simpson. John Cock ducked the head. Umpire paid the free kick nonetheless. So Adam Simpson gives one away on that occasion. Your call, Chris.
I think it's a bit stiff, but it was probably there. Fair enough, you've got to pay those.
Beautiful piece of fence sitting there from Chris McDermott. John Cock has the football. Carey offers a lead. Offers another one. The first one was a little half-hearted. He's out to the 50 now. You can see him in picture. John Cock will thump it high and long and wide and ugly. Out of bounds on the full. So the Roos to build from the back pocket through David King. He's got Archer just outside the defensive goal square and goes to him. A real favourite of the crowd here in Amy Stadium, as you can hear. Simpson can flip it over the top to Rawlings. Inboard to Clayton. That's Shane Clayton. Now to Simpson. Go towards Motlop. Got Tawney to beat. Ball at ground level. Tawney recovers first. Free kick against Motlop, and that was a bit messy. And that'll be 50. Just a little nudge with the leg. By Michael Avon had a good view of it and penalises a frustrated Daniel Motlop.
Yeah, he just got to control his frustrations a little bit, Daniel. Only a young kid learning his craft. Probably lets his temperament get away with a few errors at this early stage of his career.
So the ball's with Tawney. Penetrating kick inside 50. Colbert into the back of Carey. Free kick. As Daniel Motlop comes to the bench. For his indiscretion to be replaced by Corey Jones. Kangaroos not happy with that free kick to Wayne Carey. Here it is on replay.
No, was certainly there, that one. Carey just doing the right thing. Lee Colbert really being Carey conscious and not focused enough on the ball. The ball was going over Carey's head. Gives him with an easy opportunity to kick a goal. Once again, the Kangaroos turnover. Daniel Motlop, the villain at half forward, results in a goal or a scoring opportunity to the Crows. And that is what is going to kill the Kangaroos today.
Carey just read the penetration of that kick off the boot. A little bit quicker than Colbert. Won himself a free kick. Stabs at it. Likes it. The King has a goal. Adelaide get their fourth. Just snuck away to a handy buffer now as James Begley comes on for the Crows. The margin out to 17 points. We've played almost 24 minutes.
Yeah, the indiscretion there. First from Daniel Motlop, second from Lee Colbert. Just being too focused on Wayne Carey's body and not enough on the footy. Easy goal to the Crows, and as we said, that's what's going to hurt the Kangaroos today. The lack of ability to hit targets to finish off and the crucial turnovers, the difference between a top side and an also-ran side.
Well, there's Wayne Carey, and Mark Rasciuto is taking a breather. He's on the boundary at the moment after the bounce, and it's pretty messy, as you can clearly see. A lot of rain overnight here in Adelaide. Goodwin just passes the footy to the umpire, and the umpire tosses it up. Petrie there for the Kangaroos. Here's Bickley storming to the footy and then kicks it to within 4 probably 55 metres. Now kick close to the boundary line. Carey there outnumbered over the line, over the chalk. Umpire to toss it in.
Back dominating at ground level, the Crows. Kangaroos held sway for a while. Adam Simpson comes from the ground, having 10 possessions, replaced by Jeremy Clayton.
So another goal-scoring opportunity here for Adelaide. Grant sends it back to the wing, 2 or 3 up. Petrie, read it nicely. Good crumbing, inside 50, downfield. That's a very good mark to Brown, in opposition to wonderful quality, and that is Smart. And Brown will go back from around about 35 metres and have a shot. And they need this, the Kangaroos, late in this first quarter.
It's a superior body strength there from Lee Brown. Haven't seen the best of him this year. Had some very good moments, but probably not enough. Just a kid developing his craft. Got some great body strength. Took the good mark. Got to finish off there. Important kick for the Kangaroos.
So here's Brown from around 40 metres, and Brown has missed. An interesting stat, Rocker yet to touch the footy as Brown misses to the left-hand side. 4-2 to 1-4. We've played almost 26 minutes first quarter.
McLeod plays on quickly. Goes long towards the outer side. Big pack of players. McGregor in the midst of it. Spills to Daniel Harris. Across his body, inside 50. Robbins stood tall. Caught one in the small of the back from McLeod. He knew there was contact coming. Ben Robbins gets up a little bit sore and sorry.
Are they smart too, I reckon? Little knee in the small of the back with the upper thigh.
Nice cold day like today.
Yeah, if you want to make your tag and pay for it, that's the way to make them pay. Let's see how he recovers. But shows great courage, Ben Robbins.
Right on the top of the buttock. So Ben Robbins kicked 4 goals for the season. Another important kick for the Roos to stay in touch. Starts it out to the right. It's not working back. One thing about today, Chris, there's very little wind to speak of, so the kicks will generally go straight and with a little bit extra distance.
Absolutely, with a heavy ball, you've just got to nail it to the centre of the goals. Kangaroos, that's the 4th goal they've missed so far in this first quarter. Trail by 15 points. It certainly could have been a lot closer on the scoreboard.
And it's 6 scoring shots apiece. They've been very kickable for the Roos as rain starts to get heavier once again. Goodwin thumps it long outside defensive 50. Clark and Hale. We'll have some hail this afternoon. McLeod around the wing. Carey. Archer comes crashing through. Carey takes a look around. Big smile on his face. Didn't need to think twice about who that was.
And what about the last 5 metres from Glenn Archer? He was just coasting at a certain stage, but then put in a real burst for the last 5. Not quite.
That's brought the crowds alive. Throw in. Hale the tap, it came back to him, tried to get it to Clayton, socket off the ground by Clark. Jones, was he taken high by Welsh? He was. Free to the Roos. Harvey runs hard to open space to create something. Tawney won't catch him. Harvey runs to 55, goes to the pocket, the lead's on from Brown and he hits him on the chest. Tough kick from there in these conditions. But nonetheless, the Roos are creating the opportunities.
Certainly are. Much better use of the ball, especially on that occasion from Brent Harvey. Lee Brown offering something up forward and a real target, beating Nigel Smart for pace on that occasion. As you said, Jace, a tough kick, but certainly kickable. It's about executing the kick properly, trying to kick it straight. As you said, not much wind to talk of. I've got to nail one of these difficult goals eventually, get some momentum to Kangaroos.
Lee Brown makes good contact. It looks pretty good. Might just miss to the narrow side, it did. So 2 behinds to Lee Brown. Did make good contact with that one. As we said, distance not a problem on a day like today. If you can make good contact on the football, it will go long and straight.
Yeah, certainly, but 1 goal 6 is the story. Just not good enough in front of goals for the Kangaroos. We thought that would be a problem pre-match and proving to be so here in the first quarter.
Look at this rain tumble down as McLeod pinpoints a man inside the defensive 50. It was Bode. It was a good kick. Robbins was right there, but Bode was able to mark. Now Tawney, down to wing, 1-on-1, through the hands of Makepeace. Archer close to the boundary line. Good closing speed there by Smart for Adelaide over the line. Welsh there and also John Cock.
The tempo this game settled into is suiting the Kangaroos pretty well, Chris. They're at the same number of inside 50s and 1 extra scoring shot.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, we were worried early the Crows were going to blow the game open. Kangaroos have wrestled it back, certainly got momentum now. there's not a lot of life in the game either, so that will certainly suit the Kangaroos, and looks like they're in for a tough afternoon.
Messy footy, 14 the difference. Such a crucial game for Adelaide in terms of their aspirations to finish the season off in second position, and therefore a home final. Port Adelaide at number 1, that position already secured for them. Players tumbling in at 100 mile an hour. Daniel Harris was one of the first to get there and will be one of the last to get up.
Going to be a key little player too today, Daniel Harris. Certainly attacks the ball hard, got good hand skills, good foot skills. Important player in these conditions.
So you've got to praise the Adelaide fans. There's a full house here in dreadful conditions. Over the line, out.
This is Hollywood rain at the moment, isn't it? The old rain machine, the hose out the back. It is very, very heavy.
It was number 12, Michael Stevens, for the Kangaroos, that you saw earlier, and no umbrellas allowed here anymore, hence the plastic gear, which does the job. Clark and Hale, Clayton, and passing to no one in particular. Tawney, opportunity now for Adelaide, working it away. McGregor downfield over the head of Welsh. Rawlings got his hand to it, trying to crash through as Archer does it successfully. So can they build from half back to the wing? Maybe. There's a clash of bodies. And Robbins isn't well. He's taking a long time to get up. That clash with Burton didn't do him any good at all. Adelaide now down toward half forward, but it's going to be cut out. Carey was the target, but Stevens takes the mark, goes lateral. He's got a man running and he's loose as well. So the Kangaroos perhaps a rough chance? No. The siren sounds. It is quarter time here at Amy Stadium, and Robbins is not healthy at all. That is a concern for him and the Kangaroos. Adelaide 4-2-26. The Kangaroos 1-6-12. Let's have another look at just what happened to Robbins.
Copped the accidental elbow from Burton then. Almost looked like his eyes rolled back into his head as he went to ground, Chris. I think he might have been out before he hit the deck.
Yeah, I think you might be right. An accidental collision there. He doesn't look well. Very unfortunate, but that is a football collision.
So the trainers are around him now. They'll take plenty of time with this one. Anytime there's any sort of contact around the head or neck region. Let's have another look at it. There's the eyes. Didn't look too good at all. So from the moment of contact, I think he was out. Ben Robbins, such a courageous player. Already copped a battering in the first quarter. Copped the knee in the back from McLeod a little bit earlier. That's the least of his problems now. Physios around him. The two sides have gone to their huddles for quarter time. It's the Crows 4-2-26. The Kangaroos are 1-6-12.
Look, he's okay. That's great. I mean, that's the sort of player Ben Robbins is. I mean, he's going to put his body in those sort of positions. Occasionally, you're going to come off second best. Great carriage to the young fella.
So quarter time, it's a rugged contest in difficult conditions here at Amy Stadium. It's the Crows by 14 points. So we get set for the second term. All things considered, Chris, it was a term of wasted opportunities for the Kangaroos. Had the same number of inside 50s and one more scoring shot, yet they trail by 14 points.
Yeah, missed 4 kickable goals. That may hurt them come the end of the game.
Second term at Amy Stadium. Biglands and Porter. Harris with the first possession of the term. Handball to Rawlings. Towards centre half forward. Shirley fisted to ground. Rashudo. Quick hands to Laddams. On the overlap now to McLeod. Towards half forward. Carey the target. Takes it on the chest. Turns quickly. Pops it up high inside 50 for Perry. Michael Stevens gets across. Fist to Makepeace. Now to Archer. Across the boot to King. Tumbles one through the middle. Chance for Rocker, but going back with courage to Shudo. And the skipper turns it around. Now to Tawney. Lead short from Carey. Decides to push wide instead. Dangerous kick. Makepeace spotted it off the boot and picked it off. Runs away from Laddams. Goes towards half forward. Off the knee of Brown. Makepeace followed up. Did well. Won another possession and can go inside 50 to Corey Jones. Good play from Troy Makepeace. Left his man. Attacked the first ball and then ran on to get the second.
And once again, the turnover's killing you. On this occasion, it was the Crows' Jason Tawney with the poor foot disposal. Wet conditions, you've got to hit your targets or at least play the percentages. Gary Ayres would not be happy with that. Corey Jones drops into the hole after some great work from Troy Makepeace. This is the goal the Kangaroos need to kick. So much effort. They need to be rewarded on the scoreboard. Corey Jones, maybe not the most reliable kick for goal, but Big kick in the scheme of things. He needs to nail this one.
He's kicked 22 goals, 20 for the season, Corey Jones. Spent some time in South Australia playing with Sturt before being drafted by the Kangaroos. And he's just pushed that one across the face of goal. Another opportunity goes begging for the Kangas. But Dean Laidley very frustrated, and understandably so. They're 1-7-13. But yet half Adelaide score despite having two more scoring shots.
Doesn't look like he's got much patience today, Dean Laidley. Moving players on and off the ground. If there's an indiscretion or a breaking discipline, he's getting them off the ground very quickly.
13 the difference. Adelaide lead by just over 2 goals. Kick out from Rashudo. Stingline got his hand to it. Here's a chance now for Harris. Got it from Grant. Back it goes to Grant. He was taken care of though.
Free kick yourself.
Kangaroos to get a free kick. It's Rocker, and he'll kick from right on 50. This will be his first kick. He's had a couple of tackles, but his first significant possession for Rocker, and he's going to kick from about 55. So again, this is important for the Kangaroos. They've been offline and peppering the goals and unable to score goals. They need one here. Early stages, second quarter. Severio Rocker concentrating. 45-degree angle, kicks from about 60. Gee, that's a big kick, isn't it? That is a massive kick. But he's missed. Distance not a problem, but the accuracy not there. Behind to the Kangaroos. Let's head down to Troy Gray.
Just an update on Ben Robbins. He went straight down into the rooms. The doctor has re-emerged without Ben, and he's shaken his head, and the doctor has stated that Ben will not be playing any further part in this game.
Shuto goes long to the wing. Smart. Ball not clear by Jones. McGregor flipped it to the line. On the full. It's gone out of bounds on the full. Off a Kangaroo boot. Seems to be some confusion between the umpires here. Corey Jones is saying it's surely off an Adelaide boot. It's mine.
I don't think so, Corey.
Now he's called it.
This is where the replay would be handy, if they could look up at the screen and see this. Now, it's come off a Kangaroo play, come off Brown's boot. It's an Adelaide free kick.
Although I think McGregor's hand touched it afterwards, which is what the original call was, with the naked eye. So, one of those 50-50s. Jones. Wells. Tracking the football. Soccer's off the ground. It'll go deep to the pocket. Petrie no chance to get there. McGregor by his shoulder. And another opportunity for the Kangaroos. They've got to start taking them, because just get the feeling Adelaide will blitz it down the other end and kick one themselves.
The door's ajar. Sooner or later, they've got to kick a goal. Have to kick a goal here.
Biglan's unopposed. Looking for Shirley. Ends up with Laddams. Tumbles it outside defensive 50. Jones stretches to get there. They'll set up for another throw-in.
I tend to think that's the difference between the two teams. When the Crows need to win the footy, especially inside attacking or defensive footy from a restart, they're just so superior to the Kangaroos. Kangaroos really short on numbers around the ball, on quality numbers around the ball. That will hurt them.
Biglan's hands on the football again. Porter gets boot to ball inside 50. Shane Clayton, handball was looking for King. It's gathered by Harris. Snap at goal from Daniel Harris, hits the post. And the frustration continues for the Kangaroos. Disappointment there for Daniel Harris. Threw it on the boot quickly, and they're up to 1 goal 9. 10 scoring shots to 6, but they trail by 11 points.
The Smarts kick outside the 50. Massey flying high, can't mark. Bit of time though. Gather his thoughts down, looking for John Cock. Ball ricochets close to the boundary line. Petrie gets it to King, inside 50 again for the Kangaroos. Adelaide need a mark here, because you can bet your life the Kangaroos will score a goal fairly shortly. The odds are that they will, although Adelaide working it out nicely. Massey from Bickley, and here's Burns now. Just got himself into a bit of trouble. Umpire says play it on. Now he has a good look and he says holding the ball. Ronnie. Or something like that. And Ronnie's not happy. And Makepeace has got the footy for the Kangaroos. 85 from goal.
Ronnie's saying his legs were taken out from under him, Chris.
Yeah, might have been a bit stiff, Ronnie.
Makepeace onto the left boot, inside the 50, looking for a marking option. They've got one, and it's Rocker, and he will go back. 45-degree angle. He had a shot on the other side of the oval. He's on this side now, which is the members' side. He'll have a shot from around about 48 metres.
Great work by Troy Makepeace. Finally, a Kangaroos player's able to hit a target. Sav on the lead. Big fella just starting to have an influence on this game, and he needs to. It's been well documented. Finally Kangaroos get an opportunity to kick a goal from a set shot inside 50. Big fella for him and for the Kangaroos needs to get this one.
It's 4-2 to 1-9. And the Kangaroos have had the last 6 inside 50s. This for something that they've wanted for a long, long time, and he swings, but it doesn't swing enough. And he's not happy. He's frustrated, and so are the Kangaroos, and so are their fans. Another behind. 1-10-16, the Kangaroos. Adelaide 4-2-26, the margin 10.
And that one goal was their first score of the game. So since that time, 10 behinds. Smart. High ball outside, defensive 50. Almost off the head of Biglan's there. Bickley tracks it. Soccer's off the ground. Chance for Burns. Makepeace coming the other way. Flashing across the screen was Stevens. Burns took him down. Mark Stevens gets it for the Crows. High ball to centre half forward. Carey and Colbert. At ground level, John Cock squirts out the back to Shane Clayton. He soccers off the ground. Burton. Simpson approaching. Goes over the top of him. Burton runs to 60. Goes to the pocket and Carey. Well, Colbert wasn't expecting it, hitting in that direction. Came in quickly. Carey turned around and it hit him on the chest.
You know what happens when you have so many shots at goal and you can't kick one, the ball goes down the other end, as you said before, Jace. The opposition will kick a goal. Adam Simpson runs over the contest, though. He leaves Brett Burton with the uncontested possession. While the kick wasn't great, fortuitously finds Wayne Carey. Luck plays a part in this game. Kangaroos at their own hand not having much luck, not being able to finish on the scoreboard. The Crows get an opportunity at the other end. You sort of get the feeling he might kick this.
A little bit more breeze in the second term. The flag's just starting to flutter. Carey from the angle tries to steer it through and work it back from right to left. Couldn't quite do so. 1-2 to the King this afternoon.
Tell you what has happened, and we might have to cross down to Troy to see if it's fact, but it looks like the wind might have swung around a fraction. Kangaroos appeared to kick with it in the first quarter, albeit very slight, but they look like they might have the advantage of it in the second quarter as well.
It's certainly picking up a little bit more. Flag starting to flutter behind the goals. At Adelaide's end of the ground, King goes towards Porter, stood tall at the front. Burton arrived late. Umpire said his attempted spoil went across the shoulder of Mark Porter. Spotted Simpson. Massey and Burton arrived by the time the ball did. Burton takes it out. Simpson takes him down, but it'll come back for another throw in as we head down to Troy Gray.
A few moments ago, we saw Ronnie Burns for the Crows get caught with the ball and he wasn't happy at the umpires. He's since been dragged by his coach and he has let a tirade of abuse go at every single person, coaching staff included, on the bench. So not a happy man at the moment.
McGregor, Prosciutto, kick smothered by Petrie. He's then run down by Goodwin. Laddams. They gang tackle him. Stevens and Harrison over the top. Have a bounce. Centre wing. Crows by 11 points. We've played almost 10 minutes in the second term. Flags just starting to flutter a little. Flaccid in the opening term. Jones gets boot to ball to the advantage of Clayton. Now a chance for the Roos if he can gather, or at least flip it on to Wells. Wells arrives on the scene now. Handball. Simpson from 50 tumbles towards the goal square. Rocker. So surely now the Kangaroos, after 10 behinds on the trot, a chance to reduce that margin back to 5 points.
And we'll give Adam Simpson the credit for that kick. A checky pass to Big Sav. And maybe Mark Stevens just showing the signs of the lack of footy. He has not played a lot of football over the last 2 or 3 months. Sav Rocker just looks a little sharper than him at the moment.
Not a day for a player like Sav Rocker, but interesting that Dean Laidley persisted with Sav, even though he went without a touch in the first term, and it's starting to pay dividends.
Absolutely, just as you said, Jace, got to kick this goal.
So this to stop the rot for the Kangaroos. Sav is 19th on the all-time AFL goal-kicking list, and he goes back from 20 metres out and kicks that all-important goal for the Kangas. So 1-2 in this second term to Severio Rocker, and the Roos move back within 5 points.
Yeah, great reward for the Kangaroos. They've had all the play in the opening 11 minutes of this second quarter. Daniel Wells getting involved. Adam Simpson, who hasn't touched it so far in the second quarter, gets his 11th possession for the game. Finally a reward for all that effort. 5-point ball game. Kangaroos with momentum. The Crows under some pressure.
Finally, some reward for the Kangaroos' endeavour. 7 inside 50s to 2 this term in their favour.
Umpire tossing it up in the middle. Clark and Porter. McLeod had his kick smothered. A lot of Crows at the back, though. Over the pack goes Burton, only as far as Stevens for the Kangaroos. So he's got a man running. It was Colbert, but he decides to go longer than that to Harris. And here they go again, the Kangaroos. They can be in front if they can score a goal, as Rocker marks about 55 metres from goal. The margin is just 5, so Rocker kicks this, and they're in front by a behind. Here he goes now. He loads up the big sab. Big kick. Maybe, no, not quite the distance. McGregor, very strong grab under the circumstances. Terrific stuff from Kenny McGregor, who's having a very good season. John Cock from Smart, couldn't mark. Rashudo runs onto the footy. Tempo just lifting fractionally from half back down to the wing. Beautiful kick to Welsh. Wonderful mark in these conditions by Welsh. Just forward of the wing. Archer to stand the mark. Welsh with the footy. 5 the difference, and we're around 11 minutes until half-time. There's Welsh's kick. 35 metres down to 50. Clark. Opportunity for the Kangaroos. Here's Stevens away from a very busy area down toward left half forward. Petrie, good effort, couldn't mark though. Spillage comes to McGregor.
Did it well.
Petrie did well. His second effort was outstanding, and Brown's effort was very good as well on Massey over the line. Umpire to toss in at left half forward for the Kangas.
There's Scott Welsh taking the mark despite the Archer attention and crashing into the furniture. The effort from Petrie there, tried to mark it, Chris. Great follow-up performance, but could have left himself in trouble.
Yeah, certainly went to ground. The big fella got to hold your feet, especially in these conditions. Stay in the contest.
Porter down to Harris, who's having an influence. 7th touch. Spears it inside 50. There's another man having an influence. Great hands from Sav Rocker. Oh, he's suggesting he could be playing for his career. He's doing a good job of it so far. McLeod was out of position. Rawlings had the sit. And marks 35 out directly in front.
Yeah, having a real influence, Sav Rocker. Nigel Smart matched up on him on that occasion, and again Sav beating him for pace. Looks pretty sharp, the big fella, getting involved again in that passage of play. Kangaroos now another opportunity to get another goal, certainly with the best of the footy here in the second half. Crows looking flat, getting nothing out of their midfield. All possession of the Kangaroos, just got to make it count on the scoreboard.
Rawlings. 5 goals for the season. On its way, looks good off the boot. He likes it, and the Roos are in front. Well, might that man be happy. Wonderful performance from the Kangaroos in this opening half. They've just worked hard. They've worked their way into the game after the Crows got a couple of soft ones early on.
Certainly have, and that man there on screen, Daniel Harris, having a real influence in this game of football, as is Sav Rocker. Beautiful, clean hands given the conditions. And foot skills to boot. Kangaroos right in this contest. Crows cannot find a winner anywhere.
So the Kangaroos in front by 1. And it has been their quarter. They were frustrating early, but a couple of goals has them just the 1 point in front.
Important stanza of play now, Chris, with Mark Porter, their number 1 ruckman, off the ground, and they've got a couple of makeshift ruckmen in Petrie and Hale to go to. Yeah,
Hale in there at the moment. Porter's been very good early. Kangaroos getting some success at ground level.
Adelaide now with a chance. That was Welsh, but he was tackled, and Stevens squeezes it to Clayton. Got a man running for him, but he decides to go it alone, and then he sends it towards centre half forward, long and strong. Rocker again, the target. Bickley was at the back. Here's King. Another goal coming up for the Kangaroos here. King 30 metres from goal, and he has pushed it across the face. Golden opportunity there for King and the Kangaroos, but it is a behind.
Full of running though, the Kangaroos. All their midfield getting hold of the ball. What can happen with the Crows, because they do push forward and do play attacking footy, is that if you can control the ball at ground level, you can score against them. Kangaroos doing that at the moment, just can't get goals on the board.
Inside 50s this term, 10-2 in favour of the Kangaroos. Goodwin has it in the back pocket. Awkward kick off balance, a high ball. Rashudo comes across the contest and takes the mark. Need to get some flow. Stevens has worked hard to the wing for him, and he obliges. Started his career with the Kangaroos. Mark Stevens goes down the line to another man who also spent plenty of time at Arden Street. Wayne Carey, just forward of the wing. Signals he wants to go long and does exactly that. Welsh is there, Perry's there. Welsh got hands to it. Johncock off the pack, open goal. And Graham Johncock puts Adelaide back in front. We mentioned the inside 50s, 10-2 for the term. The Kangaroos added 2 goals, 5. The Crows get it down there for just the 3rd time and make them pay.
One of your other stats too, Jason, is about Crows' ability to kick a goal from a snapshot. Graham Johncock, front and square, exactly where you want them. And if you're a young kid learning or you're going to training, that is exactly how you do it. Front, square, bang, goal. That simple.
26 goals prior to today's match for Johncock. Let's head down to Troy Gray.
Just keep an eye on Glenn Archer. His right knee seems to have damaged it when he went sliding across the boundary line straight into the fence. We can see it there, bang, straight into the chairs that were resting against the fence, and his right knee has been sore ever since.
He hit the milk crate by the looks.
He did, with some velocity, that's for sure. So 27 goals for Graham Johncock now as a result of that goal, which put Adelaide back in front. Umpire to throw it up again. Very, very messy here. Untidy, ugly footy. But as we said, there's Ronnie Burns doing the boundary line. As we said earlier, such a crucial game for Adelaide in terms of finishing in 2nd position. Then they've got the showdown next week. Jones out of the congestion and out toward the wing. Now, Kangaroos have got this covered. This is Harvey, well in front of his man. Short passing just over the head there of King. It made it awkward for him. He's able to redeem himself. He got the hand pass to Simpson. Motlop. Now a chance for Wells, just needs to be precise. Harris, 60 metres from goal, across the face. This could be okay, it is. And Rocker runs into space and marks again.
Once again, Daniel Harris getting involved in that passage of play. What you've got to like about him is his ability to keep control of the footy.
No one in the goal square at all, Chris. Tawny's just spotted it now, because if Sav had have tumbled it to the top of the square, as we know on a day like today, it'll skid through hard and fast.
No doubt. Daniel Harris keeps his strong body over the ball, takes possession, then worries about what to do with it, and executes beautifully. Hits Big Sav, who is in very good form in the 2nd quarter. It's a tough kick from here with a heavy ball.
He's already got 1 goal. He's kicked 1 goal, 2 so far. And there's Rocker's kick from about 55 metres, and he's missed. So an opportunity there for the Kangaroos to explode to the front again, but nothing doing. It's 5-3-33 Adelaide. The Kangaroos 3-12-30.
Frustration continues for Dean Laidley. Must be delighted with the way his team's playing in some respects, and very frustrated. They can't put it on the scoreboard effectively. Goodwin to the outer side. Stevens the target. It clears he and Rocker. Stevens has got Smart in support, uses him now. Smart throws it on the boot. Gains some distance towards half forward, but that's all. Have a throw in about 70 metres out from the Adelaide goal. There's Chris Laddams having a breather. Just flexing the leg, in fact. He's got the physio with him. So we'll check on his condition shortly. Hale, the youngster, up against Clark. Simpson down to Wells. Bode emerges. Wells just got a hand on him. Clark. Wells goes again. Great effort. Calls the turnover, Daniel Wells. Great endeavour from him. King thumps it long towards half forward. The race is on. Smart will get back there first. Motlop will put some pressure on. Massey went to ground. Motlop with clean hands. Runs to 35. Tight angle. Tries to bend it around. He does! Oh, what a great goal! Well, how about that? The Kangaroos have missed the sitters all afternoon, and Daniel Motlop comes up with the miracle goal.
And if anyone's going to kick the miracle goal, Daniel Motlop is blessed with great skill, but there's the pressure from Daniel Wells. Fantastic pressure. David King gets hold of the loose ball. And this kid is a magician. He'll get better and better as time goes on. Big goal.
Massey going to ground was crucial in the end.
You called it, Jace. You've got to hold your feet in these conditions. We've spoken about it before. Opportunity falls to the Crows. Kick, and the Kangaroos make it the goal.
So what a goal from Motlop. He's quick, and he was quick then in tough conditions. And kicked a ripper. And Laddams is okay, which is good news for Adelaide supporters. They're going into attack, but King holds them up. In front of Stingline, King at centre half back right now.
The game he's playing.
Getting plenty of the footy. We spoke about someone to replace Jess Sinclair in the back half. King taking that responsibility.
Kangas in front by 3 points. As Clayton's kick just finds Rashudo. Rocker perhaps the target, steaming up the ground. but it did fall short, and Rashudo was able to take the grab. 18th disposal for Rashudo to Stevens. And Adelaide supporters will be happy to see Mark Stevens back in business. This will be his 4th disposal.
They're forcing them wide, the Kangaroos, aren't they? Adelaide going right round the wings at the moment, getting lost out there.
Gary Ayres wouldn't be happy with that. He spoke about in the pre-match how simple he wanted to keep the game plan. They play that way anyway, Adelaide, but given the conditions, even more important. And with Carey, Perry, Stevens up forward, going around the wings, Mark Rashudo, the only one of their midfield really getting any possession of note.
Clayton coming off for the Kangaroos and Grant going on. Archer trying to crash through. Ball goes back into a packed situation, and Adelaide will get a free kick out of it. Who's that at the bottom? There's Rashudo with Simpson. Looked like Shirley. Now Begley. And Begley inside the 50 for Carey. Sandwich. King was in front. Bit awkward for him for the King. Over the line, right forward pocket. Andrew McLeod chasing.
Danger zone though for the Kangaroos. This is where the Crows are at their best, inside 50 with a restart or boundary throw-in. Kangaroos cannot afford to let the Crows get a soft goal.
Stingline off and Burton on for Adelaide. King, gathers well. Under the circumstances, that was good footy. And then gets it back again. That was from Clayton. That footy very slippery at the moment. Picked up by Jones, jams it on the boot. Over the head of Motlop. This will be interesting. Massey needs to keep his footing. He does, and then gets it across, and that's not too bad, although Motlop went from one man to another, and they kept it in the area superbly. Wells coming over to assist. That was good footy all round by the Kangaroos. But a free kick to Adelaide, and it'll go to Burton. Right up close to the boundary, out to the wing. Clark just sees it over the line. Good persistence by Motlop, and also Wells, but in the end, Adelaide worked it down to the wing. In front of the members, a full house here at Amy Stadium. And it's 36-30. The Kangaroos in front by 3. Goodwin going nowhere.
Would have thought these conditions would have really suited a player like Matty Bode. Chris Laddams, of course, playing the game at ground level. Bode only with 4 possessions. Laddams 5, not having a big enough influence.
3.5 minutes until the long break. Was Jones getting up high, and again it's over the line, and again the umpire to toss it in.
One thing Dean Laidley has got from his players this afternoon is commitment, committing their bodies to every contest, Chris, and in these conditions that's really the #1 factor.
Sure are. You take the first 5 minutes out of it when the Crows kicked 3 early goals, it's been dominated by the Kangaroos.
Simpson again puts his body in. So many times, even think back a couple of minutes to when McLeod was going to pounce on an open ball, Michael Stevens committed his body to slide across his boot. They're the sort of acts that are keeping the Kangaroos, making them really have the running in this game. Shirley, scragged by Harvey, who wanted to go on with it. Umpire spotted it. He was on the correct side of that contest to see the fracas. And Shirley will get the free kick. Ninth touch for him coming up. To half forward, in from the side, Burton. Pushing decision. It's going Adelaide's way. It's going to Ian Perry. About 55 metres out from goal. So a chance now for the Crows. Carey leads hard. Clayton stands in his way. Carey goes to ground. Trying to milk a free kick, but nothing there.
Got to go long and strong to the hot spot. Here Ian Perry hit the top of the square. Crows comers, let them do the work.
That's exactly where he does go. This kick's on line. This kick's a goal! Brilliant from Ian Perry. Perry gets his second, and as we've mentioned a couple of times, Chris, on a day like today, if you make good contact, the ball will go long and true.
Certainly made good contact, no doubt. You don't have to go to the head of the square when you kick the ball like that. Ian Perry, a much improved part of his game, takes the ball outside 50. Made fantastic contact, never looked like missing. In the scheme of things, it's a big goal to the Crows. Kangaroos with momentum, the Crows get one against the Tigers.
Spotted the lead in the front row of the cheer squad, and obliged.
26 goals for the season for Ian Perry. That was a beauty. And it's got Adelaide in front again by 3 points, 39-36. Untidy in the middle again. It's slippery. It's tough. It's uncompromising footy. Let's quickly head down to Troy Gray.
Just an update on Glenn Archer's right knee. He actually slid into a milk crate, which was right against the fence here, and bang, his right knee is opened up. So there is a wound and is bleeding on his outside of his right knee, and he's not in too much comfort at all. He looks to be moving okay, but he's constantly checking it, so he will require some attention.
Okay, thanks for that information on the boundary about Glenn Archer. Rashudo just went without the footy. Brown right over the top of Clark. And Clayton is there as well, number 43 for the Kangaroos. 39-36. Stevens through his legs. Rashudo, McLeod tries to work it. Goodwin. Umpire says pull it back. Goodwin was about to dash off. Shirley will take the free kick. To Stevens, had to get rid of it quickly, and did to Johncock. A minute and a half remaining. Adelaide, 2 kicks from goal. Graham Johncock, Carey with the lead. Johncock goes long to within about 25, 30 metres, punching from behind Kangaroo defenders, and it's out of bounds, right forward pocket. And that's Brett Burton, who tried desperately to keep it in play.
Alarm bells have been ringing in the Kangaroo box right now.
No doubt.
Can't afford to allow Adelaide to score here late in the second quarter. Clark almost by himself. King, Jones, close to boundary, over again. So this is a very tight contest here, and the Kangaroos with pride to play for. There's Glenn Archer's injured right knee, and technically he should come off.
And if he's bleeding profusely.
There's the softie. I mean, these are the things and indiscretions that would break Dean Laidley's heart. Kangaroos, with all the play this quarter, have missed 9 shots at goal that are kickable goals in the first half of footy here. Completely the dominant side. A break in discipline, a breach in discipline by David King. You can argue as much as you like. Give the Crows an opportunity for that soft goal we spoke about before half-time, just to extend their lead.
So the action and the pressure funneling down on Matthew Bode, and he'll kick from a tight angle from about 48 metres. Left foot is on its way. Will it swing back? No, it won't. And it is marked by Carey, but over the line. So it's a behind to Adelaide late in the quarter with under a minute to go. It's 6-4 Adelaide, they're 40. The Kangaroos 4-12, 36.
Just clarifying the situation with Glenn Archer's knee. The blood rule states that if you're bleeding profusely from the knee, you'll have to come off. That's not active bleeding at the moment, which is why Glenn Archer can remain in the contest. Makepeace goes straight up the middle and finds Shannon Grant, defensive 35. Doesn't want to cough it up at this stage of the quarter. So hangs on, waits for an option and goes wide towards the wing. Tawney did well. Chance now for Adelaide. Laddams to Burton. Rashudo confronted by Simpson. Pressure was enough to make the handball go astray. Jones get hands on it. Did he try to get rid of it? It spilled out nonetheless. Grant only as far as Tawney. There's still time for the Crows. Holds it up. Goes short and finds Bode. They need a kick and a mark inside 50. Carey offers a lead at 50. Bode will go laterally. Time may beat them unless Perry thumps it in a hurry. Ball on its way. It's in the flight. Siren will sound. And that will be half-time here at Amy Stadium in what has developed into a very, very interesting contest. The Adelaide Crows 6-4-40. The Kangaroos 4-12-36. In that quarter, the Crows adding 2 goals too. Another quarter of missed opportunities for the Roos. They added 3 goals, 6. But at half-time, Adelaide's top 2 berth hangs by a thread. It's the Crows by 4 points.
Simply by answering this week's question at afl.com.au. Thanks to Simpson AFL Life Kick, you kick it alive.
Possession. Get McLeod inside 50 around the goals. He can be extremely dangerous, kick quick goals and turn the game on its head in a short space of time.
So a crucial half of football in Adelaide's 2003 Premiership campaign. They lead by 4 points. Porter the opening tap. Prosciutto bumped off it by Harris. Jones soccers off the deck. The ball will be dry for the first couple of minutes, so important to make it count. Brown to Wells. Clean hands. Handball to Rawlings. Set him up. Threw it on the boot quickly. But Stevens goes back and takes the defensive mark. So Mark Stevens, his first game back since round 5. Knee, back and rib injuries have kept him out for most of the year. And he's coming good at the right time. This is this man Welsh, who's missed the last 3 weeks with a back injury, after missing the first 8 weeks of the season with osteitis pubis and a thumb injury.
Interesting first centre bounce. The Crows went man on man, something they very rarely do, so an obvious message from Gary is get alongside your direct opponent.
Porter couldn't take the mark, but Makepeace got the crumb. Roos will go forward again momentarily. It's taken by Begley, who was a late inclusion for Tyson Edwards this afternoon. To Burton. Had plenty of it in the opening half. John Cock. Boats swooped on it. Advantage paid. It's originally going to John Cock. It's now with Burton. He'll thump it long to 50. Carey will come from the back. Clark slapped it to the front of the contest. Carey gathers now. Clean hands to Shirley. On the overlap to Welsh. Chips it inside 50. I think Bode was his target. Harris went back, forced the contest, and emerged with the football. Well played. He's been good, the youngster. Out wide towards Stevens. Burton spectacular. Not quite. Ball goes out of bounds before he got boots of ball, but Daniel Harris playing his 25th game. He was picked 14 in the 2000 draft. You get the feeling that he's a bit of a mud runner. Daniel Harris likes it tight and tough in the wet.
Certainly does, got a very strong body, but what he does do is handle the ball extremely well, keeps his body over it, takes clean possession and uses it very well also with his foot.
Adelaide by 4. 4 points. Adelaide in front, inside 50 now. Carey, here's danger. Carey from the pocket. Don't tell me. Oh. Don't tell me! Oh, that's the goal of the year! What a ripper! Oh, what a ripper! Oh. What a goal from Carey! And this crowd has come alive. 50,000 stand as one as the King kicks one of the best goals you will ever see.
Picture tells the story. That is the beauty of this man, and that's why they recruited him. He can do the magical thing and will ignite the team. That was inspiration.
So a piece of magic from the King. Tight from the boundary line and no space to work through. As Jack Dyer would say, the angle was so tight the ball could have got wedged between the posts. And I think he enjoyed that one. And all hail the King.
Yep.
They loved it on the scoreboard. They've just seen the replay and gone up again. Harris emerges from the congestion. Important goal in the scheme of this contest as well. It's given the Crows a handy 10-point buffer. Wells, first to the ball. Handball to King. Across his body. Massey attacked it. It'll spill to Stevens. Now to Burton. Slams it on the boot and finds Begley. Crows with a bit of spring in the step. McLeod. Handball to Tawney. Stepped inside Grant. Tumbles it wide to the wing. John Cockey's intended target. The ball tumbles out.
Get the feeling the Kangaroos do need to kick the next goal. Momentum will be very important in this game. The game's going to blow open. You would think the Crows are the ones capable of doing that, given their embarrassment of riches. Kangaroos need the next goal.
Clark and Porter wrestling. Porter tries to work to the front. gets that position. Clark comes over the top. McLeod tried to tap it to his own advantage. Grant, quick hands to Harvey. Throws it on the boot. Stevens the fend off. Clean hands to Welsh. Up the line for Johncock. Stevens attacked it. Motlop fumbled. Porter went down and won it below his knees. Did well, but a free kick. It's coming to the Adelaide Crows. It's coming back to Welsh. So Adelaide have it. Centre wing to the 50. King across the front of the contest. Slapped it down to Harris. Scrubs a kick out towards the boundary line. Porter again had to pick it up at ground level. Did well. Drew two players to him and got it to Motlop. How we got it to Motlop? Well, that might be a bit questionable. But Petrie, Massey went off the ground. Grant on the overlap to Rawlings. Goes towards Rocker and Smart. Smart will have the pace advantage if he can get a clean bounce. Tawney to mop up. And he'll thump it long to 50. Makepeace will come from behind and take the mark on his chest. Chance for the Roos to build from centre-half back. Harvey just got away from Bode. Got it to Watt. Clever. Slapped it between his legs to the voice of Harvey. The path opens up. Harvey runs to 55. Goes with a spiral. And Petrie will take the mark 20 metres out directly in front. Brilliant play from Shannon Watt to keep that play alive. And then Harvey tumbled it in deep.
Great kick by Harvey, and once again we've spoken about players losing their feet. In conditions like today, Kenny McGregor goes to ground. Drew Petrie takes the mark. Kangaroos, we said, needed the next goal. Petrie has the opportunity to do it. They've missed a couple of sitters today. Needs to kick this goal. A quick reply.
Important on two counts. Firstly, to get back within that one kick margin, but also for their confidence. They need to start converting. You can just get the feeling that fate's against you if you keep kicking behinds. Just get the vibe it's not your day. So Drew Petrie's kicked 24 goals for the season. He likes that one off the boot. Goal umpire goes across, and Petrie's got his first. So the Roos respond. Important goal. And the margin back to 4 points. We've played 6.5 minutes in the third term.
He presented himself pretty well today in conditions that certainly aren't favourable. Some great work there from Brent Harvey to take the ball off the deck. Low percentage kick, the screw punt on the run. Kenny McGregor breaks the golden rule, goes to ground. Petrie with the uncontested mark and the conversion. Great response to the Kangaroos.
There's Petrie. Valuable goal for the Kangaroos. As this 50,000 perhaps plus crowd start to get excited again for Adelaide. As they work it away here, the Kangaroos. Chance for Grant from Motlop, and then Grant down toward right half forward. Stevens at the back for Adelaide. King tries to work it sideways to Simpson. Hand pass close to the line. King was the target. It came from Michael Stevens, and it's out. About 85 metres from goal. That's from the Kangaroos' goal. For the difference. Third quarter. Huge crowd at Amy Stadium. No rain at the moment. Motlop, Simpson to within about 50. Stevens caught by Jones. King. Smart having to get back. Bad bounce there for the Kangaroos through from behind. 5:13, 43 the Kangaroos. Adelaide 7:4, 46. We played 8 minutes, third quarter.
Shudo in the back pocket. Possession number 22 for him. Just holds it up, waits for the right option. Decides to go to the defensive goal square and finds Begley.
Done it well, the Kangaroos. They've really been able to stop the Crows' run. Mark Bushudo, as we've said, the only on ball, and has been able to get a lot of the football. Brett Burton with a bit, but nothing from Simon Goodwin and Andrew McLeod. No run.
Begley towards the outer side. Jones almost hung onto it long enough. And in these conditions, the umpire cut him some slack and paid the mark. Goes short inside 50. Porter the target. It's going to come back. A little unfortunate for the Kangaroos because it may well have been a free kick to Mark Porter for the late contact. It will come back to Jones. 60 metres out from goal. Huddle of players at the top of the goal square with some space to lead into, which is what Motlop does. Goes to the pocket, has to come over the top of Smart, and does. Well, the rain has eased. Still slippery conditions, but clean hands from Daniel Motlop.
Has got a great pair of hands, takes a very good mark overhead, Daniel Motlop. Nigel Smart just looks off the boil today. Doesn't quite look like the Nigel Smart that we've become accustomed to. Daniel Motlop plays very tall for his height.
He's a skillful player. We saw that in the second term when he bounced it around from the angle. This for a set shot. On its way. And I fixed him. Well and truly. I think he's a little bemused with that effort himself. Not exactly sure how to describe it. It was a scrubber at best.
A pie, I think they call him.
And just snuck into the near side. And Shudo with a kick in. Goes to himself. Gains an extra 5 or 10 metres, then thumps it long, looking for Smart. It was a beautifully weighted kick. And the veteran took the mark just inside the boundary line. Wants to move it quickly. Will go down the line. Stevens his target. Harris gets across, puts body on body, creates the turnover. Colbert steps around Stevens. Handball to Harris. Inside 50, Rocker. Almost. Tawney taken down by Petrie. Umpire calls play on. Grant, twisting and turning, gets away from Begley. From the angle, Burton goes back. It was actually a beautiful kick from Shannon Grant. But Burton got back and took the mark.
Yeah, last line marked by Burton. And now McGregor. And now Begley on the way out, and now the skipper. And Mark Rashudo from right on centre half-back out toward John Cock. Punched away from behind by King. Good footy. Now Simpson. And the Kangaroos in the van again. Beautiful kick. No, not quite. Came up short. Shirley's got the footy. Tries to get through and does successfully. Now to Bode. Listen to the roar. Adelaide fans keen for Bode to go short. Perhaps he does. And it doesn't quite come off. Burns in trouble now. Wasn't able to take the mark. It is a slippery footy though. Rashudo from Shirley. Rashudo runs to 60. It cannons into the man who was standing in front of him. Eventually, Colbert kicks outside of the defensive 50 for the Kangaroos. Stevens out there, outnumbered. That's Stevens for the Kangaroos. Kicks over the line. And the umpire to toss it in about 60 metres around from the Adelaide goal. It's 46-44 to the difference.
Pushing some numbers back to the Kangaroos. Couple of players loose inside defensive 50. Making it very difficult for the Crows to score.
Laidley shouting. Kangaroos coach. Simpson over the pack. Massey. Still with Massey. That was a good tackle in the end by Harvey. Just held things up, but in the end it's coming back.
Paid the advantage, then brought it back.
So Massey with the footy. And his side is 2 points in front. Carey was the target. Brown punching over the line. So it's a little closer now for Adelaide. Grant just coming across to Brown and saying well done.
Just look a bit faster today, the Kangaroos. Their foot speed over the ground seems to be far superior to that of the Crows.
Porter tumbles and then gets up again, works his way to the front. Did well under those circumstances. Harris, hand pass, oh, not good. Bode, got to get rid of it. To Burns on his backside. Now to McLeod from about 55. They've still got a chance, Adelaide. They're making really heavy weather of it. Burton to Burns. He's outnumbered 2 or 3 to 1. Rawlings over the footy. That got really messy. There was just a bit of an opening there for Adelaide, but in the end, it was just difficult to get any clean ball there, Chris.
Yeah, Daniel Harris throwing the ball away. You called it, Mark. Got to take the ball to ground in that contest, not give the Crows an opportunity to score.
Umpire throwing it up in the right forward pocket, so still a goal-scoring opportunity for Adelaide over the line, and Grant just happy to wander over the line with the footy in his hands, and the umpire to throw it in now in that right forward pocket for Adelaide, with just over 10 and a half minutes remaining until the final break. Now, there was a bit of pushing off the footy. You saw a player, it was Makepeace, who was pushed over off the footy. He's going to take the free kick. He's deep in his defensive zone. He decides to play on to Stevens, who takes a bounce. Now he's confronted by Carey, gets it to Brown, so they're on the way out. This is Makepeace, just puts the foot on the accelerator and works his way from half-back, nicely downfield, but the kick is ill-directed. And the mark is taken by Massey, who changes direction, but Burton had to wait. Well, they were lucky there. Rashudo to Burton, so here's a chance. Now Begley running, those three running hard. Begley to Clark, who was stationary, out wide. Burton accelerates, gets caught, got caught, magnificent by the Kangaroos. They deserve a goal here. Smart should wrap up. Smart and half-back. So Adelaide, gee, that was lucky, wasn't it? Smart ducked the head at the opportune time. Petrie was the man who came at him. Close to the boundary line. McGregor knocks it on and Adelaide out of trouble, but for how long?
Kangaroos' commitment is exemplary. They are chasing every single ball down at the moment, putting the Crows under enormous pressure. It's a life for Harris. A one-handed handball is picked up by the umpire, all in one movement. Harris gathered and fisted it off in the one movement. Let's have another look at this tackling attempt, if you could call it that, from Drew Petrie. Clark has it on centre wing. And the closing speed of Daniel Wells to lay that smother on Burton moments ago, quite extraordinary. Rawlings taken down by McLeod. Porter released Harris. Kicks down the boundary line. Rashudo and Massey. Crows with the numbers if it stays in. It doesn't. We'll have a throw in, but gee, the Kangaroos have really come to play this afternoon. They are chasing down every single contest.
Daniel Wells, as you said, was 5 or 6 contests he was involved in. Was fantastic, working the discipline of their forward line to try and hold the ball in the area. Far superior commitment at the footy at the moment. The Kangaroos, Crows with a lot of work to do.
Motlop at the front, only as far as Bickley. Confronted by Harris, gave it up to Grant. Now to Petrie. Tumbles a kick inside 50. Wells lurking at the back, doesn't get that far. Safe hands from Begley. Handball to Tawney, didn't do him any favours because he had absolutely nothing to kick to. Harvey and King. If Harvey can gather, he can go over the top to King. That's what he does. Bode will arrive late. And King has it 55 metres out. This wasn't the time to play on from the defensive goal square.
Important kick, this one from David King. Does he go to the top of the square? Does he try and kick the barrel goal? Kangaroos with not too many crummers inside 50.
Rocker now leads. We saw a lead from Petrie at the top of the square moments ago. Told by the umpire to move it on. So King wants to take Bode on. Kicked right to the line. It's almost there. It was a great effort in the end from David King. Matthew Bode was a wake up to it on the mark and forced him wide. In the end, off hands and through from behind.
Matthew Bode did it extremely well. Knew David King was going to try and sell the pup and get around on the outside. One of his signature moves. Some good work from Matty Bode. Ball just falling short.
So a point the difference. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Rashudo again with the kicking in duties. Goes to the outer side. Motlop will arrive late, did well, picked it off. He's got it now inside 50. Look out, Grant. Here comes Burton. Flips it over to Wells. Now Harris. He's taken down by Bode. Shirley in there. Petrie over the top. And the comeback. And the free kick will go to Shirley. Defensive goal square again. They want to play on. This time they have got some numbers. Begley has got Massey in some space. Well-weighted kick finds him back to the wing. Got Bode running inside. Elects to go himself. Kicks towards half forward. John Cock there. Stevens went early. There was a push. It's going the way of the Kangaroos. So from half back, it's with Michael Stevens. Short to Clayton. Down the line towards Grant. Under pressure.
It's a great kick.
And good hands. Didn't panic. Had Bickley right on his shoulder. Keeps it alive for the Roos. Momentarily. Is that kick somewhere on a par with Daniel Motlop's about 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, not great, but at least it keeps it inside 50. I guess, fortuitously enough, they still have an opportunity to kick a goal. Kangaroos with all the play. You've got to wonder where the lift from the Crows is going to come.
42,295 is the crowd here at Amy Stadium. Tawney just needed to keep his head and did to Bickley, the former skipper. He's got a man running. It's Bode. And Bode runs through the lines from half-back, looking for Carey. Well done by Brown. Knocked it away from the King. And now the King's got a chase. Harvey gets there first. The King being very careful over the top of Harvey. He's got 3 to beat. Welsh comes in to assist. Harvey can't quite pick up. Well done, Welsh, though. Well done by Welsh. Kicks inside 50, looking for a target downfield. Has he found that man? No, he hasn't. It was Perry. He knocked it away only as far as Colbert, though. He gets it to King. King accelerates away. They're running through the middle now. They've got a chance. And this is Big Porter. Needs to be precise. Isn't. He wasn't.
It's killed them all day, hasn't it? Their inability to finish around the ground or at goal.
He's 2-on-1 too. That was the only spot he couldn't kick it.
Clark goes out wide. John Cock through his hands. Now he's got some problems. Jones, John Cock did well. Stevens. Now to Smart. He's got to get rid of it quickly because Clayton's coming at him. Smart goes inside 50. Almost Perry at the back. He was 4 back. Still with Perry. Makepeace against the flow. Now he's got some time. He's got some space. Runs away from Goodwin. Sends looking for and almost finding Simpson. Clark was in the general vicinity. They've got a chance here, the Kangaroos. Kick to the boundary by Colbert. It's over the line. So it's right on the wing. And there is just 1 point the difference. Adelaide lead 46-45 with 5.5 minutes remaining until the last quarter. What a crucial last quarter for Adelaide in 2003. Rashudo, who's had 27 disposals, 17 kicks and 10 hand passes. Rawlings, a couple of hand passes, that's not bad. Motlop, now the Kangaroos with a chance. Well inside 50, looking for Rocker, had 2 bites at it. Well done by Clayton, just tried to get away. Begley had him, held him up, 35 metres from goal.
It was a great crumb there from Jeremy Clayton. But again, a great tackle from James Begley.
That
Big
says a
step,
lot.
that one, doesn't it? I mean, the way they've attacked the footy, the ball and the body.
Especially when you consider possessions are dead level at 195 apiece. So they've had 50% of the ball each. And the Kangaroos have laid double the tackles. That just shows how they've chased everything down. Shirley, desperate on that occasion, went off the ground. King did the same. Chance for the Crows now. Begley. Shepherd laid on King by Bickley. Bickley's kick tumbles wide. Perry can gather, look up. A couple of minutes and a half forward. Goodwin just chipped it in front of Stevens to take the mark. Will go towards Welsh at full forward. Watt, well-timed fist. At ground level, Colbert stumbling after it. It's socket off the deck. And out of bounds, about 10 metres around from the Adelaide goal. Just over 4 minutes remaining until the final change. And what a scrap we've had all afternoon. For a game that's only seen 12 goals kicked, it's been most entertaining. Porter. Off the pack, taken by Archer. High kick towards the centre of the ground. Massey in good position, takes the mark. Wants to play on. Thumps it back inside 50. Some marking power there for Adelaide. At ground level, Porter got an important hand in there. Slapped it to the advantage of Grant. Welsh almost ran him down, but Grant got it to the line just outside the 50. And we'll have a throw in.
An important player this quarter, Shannon Grant, only 7 touches in the first half. Now up to 15, having a real influence on this game in the third quarter.
Well, the rain has eased in this third term, making conditions a little easier, but the scoring's actually tightened up. Bickley from inside 50, screws it back to the goal square. It's still alive. At ground level, Makepeace goes to ground. Colbert through the Goodwin tackle. Grant gets away from Bode, flips it over Welsh and finds Makepeace. Chance now for the Roos from half back. Looks up, hasn't got a lot to kick to, so he goes short and finds Rawlings.
Up from the back pocket, Rawlings for the Kangaroos. Andrew McLeod standing the mark. Coming up for his 17th disposal. Rawlings from half-back, down to wing. Clayton was there. Through the hands of Porter, close to the boundary line. Jones gained 25 metres. It all worked out okay as far as the Kangaroos are concerned, as Porter has come off with a big ruckman for the Kangaroos.
Crunch time. David Hale on with the rucking duties. The Kangaroos been very good at the clearances. Big responsibility for the young fella. 1
point the difference. Adelaide 46, the Kangaroos 45. Free kick, Adelaide. Over the shoulder, the call. So they'll work it, thanks to Biglands. Goodwin just up a little early. Makepeace, left foots it. He's found a man. It's Hale. 1 point the difference. Puts everything into the kick to within about 45 metres. Well done, Tawney. Got a fist to it. Clayton runs onto it. John Cox got him. Oh, Burton tried to kick it away. Free kick, Kangaroos. Gee whiz. Well, this is important now. Inside 50 goes the kick. There's a loose man. It's Rocker. And Rocker's got it. And he's 35 metres from goal, and the angle's not a problem.
Yeah, in conditions like today, when every opportunity counts, you can't afford to give away undisciplined free kicks. Kangaroos have been guilty of that in the first half.
Had to get rid
Graham
of this.
Johncock at this stage. Maybe a bit stiff. The ball flips out in the tackle. A little overzealous with the rest of the tackle. Kangaroos have a big shot at goal.
So Jeremy Clayton kicks to Rocker, and Rocker now with an opportunity to put the Kangaroos in front by 5 points with 1:40 to go until the final break. Here goes Rocker. There's his kick. It's swinging around to the left-hand side. What's the umpire doing? He is going to indicate a goal. Second goal for Rocker. It's 6:15, 51 the Kangaroos. They lead Adelaide by 5.
And again, some reward for effort for the Kangaroos. Still appearing to dominate most of the game at ground level. Jeremy Clayton maybe a little fortuitous not to get pinged for throwing. Graham Johncock with the overzealous tackle. Sam Rocker with the important goal. Important centre clearance this one, but the Kangaroos right in it.
2 goals, 3 to Severio Rocker this afternoon. It's been a very good performance up forward, presented himself well since quarter time.
Very defensively minded, the Crows at the centre bounce, something you don't often see. Very much one-on-one.
So Petrie doing the centre bounce work against Biglands. It spills to Harvey. Steps around Burton. Chips towards half forward. It was a beautiful kick, but it found Jones. Just over a minute remaining. Jones has got a man inside 50. Clayton, he flips it over the top. Harvey runs on, 30 metres out. Clayton alone in the square, lets it go through. The Roos have got 2 in a minute. Well, Brent Harvey got the opening possession of that passage of play. Ran on, worked hard, got inside 50. And you mentioned, Chris, they went defensive with their setup. It didn't work on that occasion.
Certainly didn't. It was a very important centre clearance. Kangaroos dominant in that department, and finally hitting consecutive targets with their foot skills, which has cost them at times during the game. They are all over the Crows at the moment, running over the top of the ground. Their midfield on top, looking like they have the game in control.
You get the feeling the Kangaroos have come into this game with nothing to lose. They're steeling themselves as their grand final at the moment. Adelaide may be playing like a side which is getting a touch nervous.
Yeah, they look tired, Adelaide. No run, no fluency, not taking risks, certainly hurting them.
11 the difference. The Kangaroos, the visitors, the underdogs are in front, and they're doing it well. 57-46, right on a minute to go until the last break. It's untidy footy. And if they can hold them here, the Kangaroos, they will go into the three-quarter time break.
Big stat, that one. The Kangaroos up 8-3, normally a strength of Adelaide. Great result for the Kangaroos.
And if they can hold them here, the Kangaroos, they'll lead by 11 points with a quarter to play. High kick, Biglands, Clayton. So another opportunity perhaps here for the Kangaroos. Clayton gets up, hand passes backwards to Jones. And he has got a chance here as Jones goes long and low inside 50 for the Kangaroos. Rocker storming up the ground. Smart close to the boundary, over. 16 seconds remaining. And Adelaide have to hold here. They've got to hold the Kangaroos. 57-46, 11 the difference, 17 seconds remaining. And Rocker has 2 goals, 3 to his name. Hale and Biglands, 14 seconds remaining until the last break. And the umpire to throw the footy up inside the 50, within goal-scoring range for the Kangaroos. 2 seconds, 1. Siren should sound, and does. So at three-quarter time, Adelaide have a huge job in front of them. The Kangaroos lead 7-15-57. Adelaide 7-4-46. That margin, 11 points in favour of the visitors.
3 goals, 3 in that term to the Kangaroos. Just 1 goal to Adelaide. But the Roos have led at three-quarter time the last 2 weeks and lost. They trail by 11 points as we start the final term at Amy Stadium. McLeod in over the top of it. Plenty of players around this one. And we will have a secondary bounce.
Mark Porter been a fantastic player for the Kangaroos today, starting this last quarter on the bench. Now David Hale being the preferred option, or Drew Petrie in the ruck for the first centre bounce.
Plenty of players around this one again. Bode on his hands and knees, tries to farm it out of the mud. Harris in there as well. That's a bit of good old-fashioned footy right there. Caked in mud. Joe Petrie, the last man up, gives the football back. So the third bounce to try and clear this congestion. Boat over the top of it. Massey. Motlop riding him. Motlop then gets his hands on the football. And will go again. An amazing record for the Kangaroos. They've lost 3 in a row up until today. They have not lost 4 in a row in the one season since 1992. That was prior to Dennis Pagan arriving at the club. That's what they're protecting today, and they're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. King spears a torpedo from 75 out and hits Sav Rocker on the chest. Well, they've steeled themselves for this contest, the Kangaroos. And Severio Rocker, the opportunity to give them a 17-point break, a minute and a half into the final term. He's been super, Sav Rocker.
Certainly has presented himself fantastically well. David King has tried that kick on numerous occasions today. The barrel on the run. Tough in these conditions. He hit that one beautifully. Saverio Rocker read it. Now he's got to finish. Big kick for the Kangaroos. Good forwards kick these goals. That is entrusted to Sav on this occasion.
2 goals, 3 to Sav this afternoon. Hits the post from point-blank range. Their third poster for the afternoon. Bit of tension in the Kangaroos box now as well. The margin an even 2 goals as Mark Prosciutto brings the ball back into play.
Long kick, good distance, and a fine mark to Clark. That was a beauty.
Crowd just trying to lift the Crows at the moment.
58-46. Clark gets on with it in a hurry, kicks it downfield. Colbert wasn't able to take the mark. Spillage important here.
Great take.
Well done by the Kangaroos, getting it forward only as far as Smart, though, who kicks it inside 50. A goal-scoring opportunity. Stevens storming into the back pocket now for the Kangaroos. Did very well under those circumstances. He was being attacked left, right and centre. And the crowd saying deliberate, and it was. Well, it took a long time, the umpire, to make that adjudication. And the Kings got it. Wayne Carey, who kicked one of the goals of the year earlier on in this game. Here's Burton now. Burton swinging from 30 metres. Oh, what's he done with this? He's kicked a beauty. He's kicked a ripper. Yes, he has. Six the difference. One straight kick. The Kangaroos in front.
How often do you see it? A goal opportunity missed at one end. The ball transfers quickly. And while you can take nothing away from Brett Burton for kicking a great goal like that, fair dinkum, that decision, you have got to ask yourself the question in the context of this game. That is a huge umpiring decision.
So Adelaide's first goal in more than a quarter of football. We've gone 3.5 minutes. And a 2-goal swing. Sav Rocker misses at one end, Burton converts at the other, and suddenly it's back to a kick the difference. McGregor back with courage. Is this the spark Adelaide needed? They dodged a bullet when Sav Rocker missed one at the other end. Simpson, handball looking to King. King will go again, ducks under the Clark tackle, emerges with a football. Another spiral inside 50. John Cock got an important hand on it. Clayton was lurking. It's picked up by Smart. Only as far as Prosciutto. He takes the mark. Daniel Motlop down inside the forward 50 for the Kangaroos, struggling. McLeod to Burton. Goes off the ground only as far as Michael Stevens, and he takes the mark. So Stevens will hold it up. But for the right option to present itself. He goes short and retain possession by giving it to Lee Colbert. Mark Porter back on for David Hale for the Roos.
Daniel Motlop no good either, wants to stay on the ground, but the trainer is trying to encourage him to come off.
Colbert across the wing. No one flew for the Kangaroos, but Bode couldn't bring it down. Rawlings throws it on the boot quickly. Will bounce towards 50. Corey Jones is the man in the mask. Perry in the defensive half takes it to the line as we head down to Troy Gray.
Well, just a bit more on the man in the mask, and that's Corey Jones. You do notice that he's got plenty of strapping around his head. He suffered a nasty gash to his chin at the end of that third quarter and had to have some bandages applied to stem the flow, but he's fine.
Not so much a mask as sort of like a lifesaver's cap, I suppose. Perry and Motlop. Motlop gathers. Clean hands to Clayton, twisting and turning, steps inside McLeod, Jeremy Clayton, and just sneaks it in for a behind. His first score for the afternoon. And we've got a thriller at Amy Stadium. It's the Crows trailing by 7 points. We've played almost 6 minutes, final term.
Rashudo to Shirley, outside the defensive 50 now. This is Begley, who came in for Tyson Edwards. Massey, now Bode. Steps around the would-be tackler and then sends it out wide. He was looking for Smart, but getting a hand on it there was Makepeace, an important hand, and it trickles over the line. 59-52.
It's been good this afternoon, Troy Makepeace.
Been very good today. Done some great work. Uses the ball so well too in the back half. Had a very good afternoon.
So Adelaide about 85 from goal at the moment. Porter and Clark. Clark double-fisted to Makepeace, who, as Chris said, has had a very good afternoon of footy for the Kangaroos. It looks as though it's out of bounds on the full. And it is, and Adelaide to bring it back. Rashudo to Begley. 7 the difference. A goal and a bit. And Begley's got a man running. It was Massey. Too far for him, though. Inside 50. Chance for Stevens for the Kangaroos. Out it comes again. Now it's 2-on-1 here with the Kangaroos with the numbers. Clayton did well. Slipped over, but then got up again. Motlop slipped over and is taking a while to get up. Umpire says play it on. They come away with it, Adelaide. Burton, short pass. Door perhaps slightly ajar for them. This is Massey. 65 metres from goal. Kicks to a more central location. But they give it up. And Stevens marks about 35 metres from his defensive goal. Gives it to Grant.
So good afternoon, Michael Stevens. Up to a career-best 13 possessions. Shannon Grant to the wing. Petrie the target. John Crockett ground level.
Oh, great.
Gathers. Great tackle from Clayton. Ran him down from behind but didn't infringe. Massey to Bode. It's still alive for the Crows. Now it's Clark. Gallops towards 50 and puts it out of bounds on the full. So Jeremy Clayton's just got up a little bit sore after that lunging tackle. It was a fine effort.
Got some sore bodies, the Kangaroos. Daniel Motlop, Jeremy Clayton, both limping at the moment.
Wonderful record here at Amy Stadium. As we mentioned, a terrible record in final terms, something they're looking to arrest this afternoon. Stevens goes long, Porter the target, off his hands to Petrie. Couldn't get boot to ball before he was taken down by McGregor. Jones to Harvey. Rawlings has pushed forward to the play. McLeod will arrive as well. Rocker, clean bounce. Perry got a piece of him. Rocker got the hands free, gave it to Simpson. McLeod just did enough to prevent Rawlings getting clean hands on the football. Grant slides in, Rawlings goes again. Perry wrapped it up. In the end, a break-even was a good result for the Crows, 35 metres out from the Kangaroo goal.
It was a good result. Pressure time of the game, ball handling is so important. Just got to slow yourself down, make sure you take possession. Every ball you go for now is critical.
Rashuto won the clearance, tumbles it long towards the wing. Begley leads King in the race for it. Tries to hold him off it. Takes possession now. King grabs him. Ball still alive. King now picks it up. Harris thought about the handball, somehow reeled it in, and then went inside 50. Clayton almost will get a free kick. Dragged down in the marking contest. Great presence of mind from Harris. The ball had almost left his hand before he reeled it back in.
Talk about ball handling. Daniel Harris was fantastic. Ball off the deck and the foot skill to boot. Now with the new stand here at Amy Stadium, this is not a difficult kick anymore. Used to be very hard from this pocket. The grandstand does block out a lot of the breeze. Clayton, not a big kick, but this is certainly a kickable goal. Got to drill it straight.
He's kicked 1-1 in his career. This is his 4th game. He's come off the rookie list this season. The youngster from North Ballarat. It's straight. Has it got the carry? Not quite. And the Adelaide Crows go back and fist it through for a behind. 42,259 fans hold their breath. The margin now 8 points. We've played 10 minutes in the final term.
Rashudo straight down the middle, gets very good distance with it through Perry's hands. Goodwin quickly off. Did well, gets it into the middle. Chance for Archer though, so they will be back again. Here's Makepeace, who's having a good game to Clayton. Did well. Here's King running to 60, now to 50. Lines them up. It's offline to the left-hand side. Big build-up for the Kangaroos, but King misses. It's a behind.
4 behinds to David King, 1 in each quarter.
Yeah, again, kickable goals. The Kangaroos still look too good at ground level and on ball. The Crows Goodwin, McLeod, Bickley, Latham, the key on ballers, apart from Mark Prosciutto, unable to get themselves into this game.
Can you believe it? 26 scoring shots to 12 in favour of the Roos. They only lead by 9 points. Simpson, possession 24 for him. Will go inside 50. Petrie, the target, good hands. While he was expecting the contact to come from Massey, it never came. And Petrie will kick from just outside the 50.
It was a big catch too. Had he not taken it, Crows had some numbers at ground level. Found himself up against Chris Massey. So the matchup was good. Great contested mark in these conditions. And again, a kickable goal. Just needs to make contact.
Kick one in the third term. Receiving some advice from David King, who's kicked 4 behinds.
Maybe ignored it.
It'll be do as I say, not as I do, I'm sure. Here's Petrie from 55 out. Sinks the boot into it. And in going for distance has tugged it left. Right to the line. And another behind to the Kangaroos. What a frustrating day at the office for Dean Laidley. His side's played so well on one hand, but on the other hand, they've had 27 scoring shots to 12, and they still only lead by 10 points. Plenty of football left in this one. More than 11 minutes of game time.
Prosciutto goes short. And he's got Perry, who's in the back pocket. And he takes his time and concentrates and then kicks outside the defensive 50 to a very busy area. One of the targets out there is Massey. Harris gives it up. Prosciutto kicks over the pack, down toward the wing and a fraction beyond. Archer working hard with his body. Colbert at the back, looking to give off, gives it to Archer. So they're in the van again here. Archer gets it nicely to King. And King now changes direction. Clayton or Simpson, take your pick. Simpson's got it. Clayton runs for him. Simpson goes short. Clayton's got it now on the bounce. So they're working it forward and sideways. Now into the corridor to centre half forward, looking for almost finding Harvey. Couldn't quite take it. Well done by Bickley. Porter got him. Chance now for Petrie. Petrie's kicked 2 or 3 at the back though for Adelaide. Well done. A bit of pushing and shoving off the ball as Shirley works it out to the wing. Rawlings has got it. Gets it to King. They're in the van again here, the Kangaroos. They're attacking relentlessly. Inside 50. Rocker at the back. A chance now for Clayton. This is Jeremy Clayton. And Jeremy Clayton's kicked a goal for the Kangas.
So the Kangaroos go out to a 16-point lead. What a game of football. Kangaroo fans back in Melbourne must be enjoying this one. Live and exclusive on Fox Footy. Still plenty of time for the Crows, but what a performance from the Kangaroos.
Fantastic. Jeremy Clayton kicks the big goal. Ian Perry makes the mistake, lets the ball go behind him. Critical error for a defender. Comes from the ground, pays the price. He's threatened all day, Clayton. Kicks a big goal for the Kangaroos.
13 and a half minutes gone, final term. The margin now out to 16 points. Jeremy Clayton kicks a goal. Porter gets it out of the middle again. The Roos are rolling. Grant. Can Adelaide halt the momentum? It's the biggest 10 minutes of their season. Makepeace receives from Harvey. Goes to Jones. And he marks. 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. These are the goals they haven't kicked all afternoon.
No, and he's got to kick it to right. They've missed 13 odd shots at goal that could have quite easily blown this game apart. Once again, the Kangaroos dominant out of the centre square. They've thrashed Adelaide in that department today. And again, the Crows' defensive half looking totally disorganised. Ian Perry spent some time there, come from the ground. They really appear to be missing Nathan Bassett. His form back there this year's been pretty good. He's as solid as a rock. The matchups don't look right for the Crows. Corey Jones now entrusted with the opportunity to put the Kangaroos further in front. As we've said before, not the most accurate kick for goal. There comes a time in a career where you've just got to nail the kick. This is one of those times.
Taking plenty of time. The umpire just resetting the mark now, telling him to move it on. He kicks this, it's out to 22 points. And the Crows would need to start coming up with something pretty special. Jones on its way. It's straight. He guides it through. The Roos have got another one. The margin now out to 22 points. We've played 15 minutes in the final term. It's the biggest margin for the afternoon. And the Crows now need an historic comeback.
They certainly do. Mark Bickley goes to ground. The Kangaroos' ball handling, apart from the first 10 minutes of the game, has been far superior. Corey Jones, with courage, finishes beautifully. And it is very difficult to see the Crows getting back from here. They are without a spark.
Kangaroos by 22. Let's head down to Troy Gray.
Crows will have their job or their work cut out for them because Ian Perry has left the field. Is in the hand of the doctor and the physio, has problems with his back and won't take any further part in the game.
Porter and Clark and Simpson is upended. Begley running with the pack. He's got the footy now. Had a fair look at Amy Stadium then. Clayton's got him, and that's Jeremy Clayton, who kicked a beautiful goal about 4 minutes ago.
Been a long time since the Crows have been so comprehensively beaten in the centre square.
Busy area, and it's in the attacking zone for the Kangaroos, but not for long. Ball kicked back into the middle over the head of Rashudo. That looked a bit high. Umpire says play it on. Stevens was the player who appeared to get a high tackle. Harris out wide, only as far as Smart. Now here's a chance for Adelaide. Well inside 50. Carey down there, so too Welsh. Overrunning it was Makepeace. In the end, Rawlings gets it to Clayton, and Clayton goes for a run and then decides to hand pass. This will be interesting. Begley did well on Simpson. They turn it over, so they burn the footy. Now Stengleine's got some problems because Jeremy Clayton's tackling him strongly. Johncock, high kick, 2-on-1. Adelaide with the advantage here. Massey's got a man running. It's Clark, and Clark from about 75 metres looking for Carey perhaps or Stevens, but cut out magnificently by Watt. And Watt plays on and goes to the far side. Good kick outside the defensive 50. Colbert, Carey running, but Colbert kicks beautifully to Harris. 22 is the margin, 74-52. Harris's kick, he's coughed that up. And Begley marks 45 metres from his defensive goal, and he will head outside of that defensive circle and look for a target out on the wing.
Time now, the enemy of the Crows. They need 4 goals in 7.5 minutes to protect that berth in the top 4. Smart tumbles it inside 50. They need a mark through the hands of Archer. Watt had one arm grabbed by Stevens, couldn't get rid of it.
Free kick.
Archer taken high by Stevens. And the Kangaroo champion will go back and settle things down. There's the hand over the shoulder. Shane Clayton has it. 15 metres out from the Adelaide goal. Goes looking for Colbert. And hits him on the chest. So 42,259 fans stunned. It's an eerie silence here at Amy Stadium at the moment.
Kangaroos got to be careful, though. They've played a certain style all day, and while they want to protect the ball and try and maintain possession, they don't want to drop momentum at the moment.
Such a crucial game for the Crows. They've got Port Adelaide in the showdown next week. As we saw at the start of the day, the ladder so even, all the way down to Essendon in 8th spot.
Well, it really hurts them a loss today, especially here at home. This is a game they would have chalked up as a win. The problem with the Crows, they've no spark on the ball. Centre breaks, they've been thrashed. Their midfield has been very ordinary today. Arguably the second best in the competition, but certainly not producing today, apart from the captain, who's been the shining light.
Petrie third man up, Rashudo in there again. King got boot to ball quickly. Chance for Smart. He's dragged off it by Petrie. Harris emerges from the congestion, but can't beat the umpire's whistle. They have a bounce out of wing.
Need some intelligent leadership here now, the Crows. If they're going to win this game, they've got to keep it open, blow the game apart. Can't afford to let it get congested in packs like this. This is playing into the Kangaroos' hands.
Petrie lying on top of the football. King, it's just in slow motion all of a sudden. And a throw in. Sting is fading from this game fast. Adelaide don't look like giving a final yelp at the moment. They've got just under 6 minutes to come up with something special. Ronnie Burns is going to come back on to see what he can manufacture. Stevens off. Clark the tap, down to Goodwin. Stenglein and Harvey. Michael Stevens in there working hard. What a game he's had this afternoon. Archer ripped off it by Rashudo. Harris caught one high. Harvey again. Goodwin there by his side. This suits the Kangaroos to a T. It's taken to the line one more time.
Certainly does. Kangaroos in no hurry. Brent Harvey's been very good in the second half after being extremely quiet in the first. Kangaroos have really spread it around. Had workhorses all over the ground, people contributing on every line.
Shane Clayton coming off.
Petrie and Porter put it down into the path of Simpson. Sockers off the ground. Bickley hanging off his shoulder. taken to the line again. And this crowd just cannot get involved in this game again unless Adelaide kick a quick goal.
No spark from the crowd, no spark from the team. And again, the Kangaroos dominant in their tackles.
Except for that last quarter, which shows that they have been working hard, the Adelaide Crows. It just hasn't been going their way. We see another tackle here, but the Kangaroos in this final term have been getting first hands on the football. Adelaide just can't get anything started.
No, I really like Mark Porter's work today. I think he's been very good. And Daniel Harris at ground level, along with Simpson, King, been very good.
Time the enemy now for Adelaide, that is for sure, as Grant will be the last one to get up. Looks like Bode over the top of him. 22 points is the lead to the Kangaroos.
The unheralded job today, Brady Rawlings. 22 touches himself, held down Andrew McLeod to only 12. Had a fantastic impact on this game. Quite unobtrusive, but been a very important player in the Stem defence.
Crows fans disappointed with this as they work it inside 50, thanks to a kick from Goodwin. Now Ronnie Burns, left foot snap. Maybe this is the spark they need. That's a beautiful goal from Burns. That was a wonderful goal from Burns. It's 9-4 to 9-20, would you believe? The Kangaroos still in charge.
Brilliant goal to Ronnie Burns. Spent a lot of time on the bench today. But that's his beauty, and don't go home yet, Crows fans, because this game is far from over. The Crows are capable of kicking consecutive goals and kicking them quickly with players with the ability of Ronnie Burns. Still time left. They need the next goal, but there is still time left.
So the lead is 16. It was 22. It's now 16.
Big centre clearance.
9-20 to 9-4. And McLeod working it out down toward left half forward. A chance here for Adelaide again. Bickley grabbed high. Umpire says yes, sirree. So Bickley from 75 metres. Carey's in the goal square. And Bickley keen to get on with it. In a hurry, as you can imagine. He goes to Carey. It comes up short. Simpson marks in that forward pocket to repel that attack by Adelaide. And we've got bang on 4 minutes remaining.
Simpson will hold it up for the Kangaroos. We spoke, Adelaide needed a goal to get the crowd involved again. They now need to bang on a couple in a hurry. Simpson. McGregor off hands to Rasciuto. Through the hands of Goodwin, just a costly fumble. Rasciuto goes back and wins it again. Now to McGregor. To Bode. Will pump it inside 50. Need a mark. Burton lurking at the front. It spills to the back. Archer steps inside. The little slap from Ronnie Burns. Only as far as Bickley. So again, Adelaide will load up inside 50. Need to find a target. Grant read it off the boot magnificently. Begley was the target.
Just panicked. Got plenty of time, Adelaide. Just needed to show some patience. Mark Bickley had a quiet day. Shannon Grant, the interception. Pivotal in the context of the game. Kangaroos back with possession and time to burn.
And burn it, Shannon Grant does. Inside 3 minutes. The frustration now for Adelaide fans. Got a wonderful record at home. Having said that, the Kangaroos have got a wonderful record here as well. Ball up centre wing. The Adelaide Crows won their last 6 here, by an average of more than 6 goals, and have won 19 of their last 24. But few have been more important than this one. Harris. Kick ricocheted off Goodwin. He went back and got the football to Bode. Harris in on top of him again. And it's some of these unsung heroes for the Kangaroos have really stood up today. Porter's been great. Dumped that time. Fierce tackle from Begley. Towards half forward for the Roos. John Cock and Wells. Wells happy to see it to the line. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Adelaide now need a miracle. 3 goals is what they need. The top 4 spot in a home final could be riding on that. Porter slaps it down. Jones will run onto it. He's 40 metres out on the boundary line. Squares it up. Kangaroos with numbers through the hands of Clayton to Rocker. Steps around. Handball back to Clayton. Missed the target. It's still alive. He twists. He turns. On the left. Not quite. Rocker there again. Jones. Johncock. McGregor in there. Handball to Tawney. Now a chance for Adelaide. Smarts away from half-back. Goes goes towards Carey. Couple to beat. Brown got hands on it. Carey dragged down, free kick Adelaide. Advantage played. Begley, they've got some numbers. Handball miss, Burton was costly. He's run down by Watt. Begley goes again, and the ball finds the line. A minute and a half remaining.
Free kick to the Crows just for hanging on against Begley. Watt, after doing all the hard work, just held on too long.
High ball inside 50. At ground level, Bode. Ran over the top of him. Carey ducks his head, can't get the arms free. We'll have a bounce 45 metres out from the Adelaide goal. Just over a minute remaining.
God, I love the Kangaroos' work at ground level. Led by Daniel Harris, fantastic game. Far superior with the ball on the deck today.
McGregor the tap. Colbert sharks it. Kicks it wide. Wells and Begley. Begley did well. Flipped it back to the voice of Welsh. Just gets away from the lunging Wells. Will go to the top of the goal square. Bickley will set himself. Almost. Spills to the back for Carey. Off the ground, goal! They couldn't, could they? Carey's kicked his third. The margin back to 10 points. Adelaide have been slaughtered out of the middle this afternoon. But if ever they needed a clean centre break, it's right now.
No doubt about it, 40 seconds left. You've got to think maybe they've left their run a little bit too late. Wayne Carey gets the late goal. The door slightly ajar, but a big set of clearance in the area the Kangaroos have been dominant in all day. They just need to win this one, or at least make it a neutral ball.
So let's set the scene. There's 10 points the difference, and there's 36 seconds remaining, and Harris has got the footy, and Bode's got him. Harris gets it to Simpson. 28 seconds remaining. That looks in the back against Smart. Umpire doesn't agree, says play it on. Simpson with the footy tries to work it forward. Umpire says Kangaroos free kick. 22 seconds remaining now, and the Kangaroos in front by 10 points. 74-64.
I think that contest said it all. Daniel Harris, Adam Simpson at ground level. They've been there all day, been the workhorses for the Kangaroos. They've been the players to get their hands on it first, getting in front of their Adelaide counterparts. An area of dominance for the Kangaroos, and this kid has had a pretty good afternoon.
17 seconds, 16, 15 seconds remaining, and that will be it. As Harris goes downfield to King, this has been an outstanding win here by the Kangaroos. There'll be deathly silence, you would think, although there are some Kangaroo supporters here. Listen to this. Some Kangaroo supporters, their coach and the box are elated. And what a sensational victory by the Kangaroos here at Amy Stadium. 9-20-74 the Kangaroos, Adelaide 10-4, 64. So while the Kangaroos celebrate, Adelaide have some problems now, Chris, as far as that top four position is concerned.
Oh, they certainly do. That has thrown them right in amongst the pack. A possibility maybe they might finish 8th, I think. And not the result they were looking for. They needed to rebound after last week's loss against Collingwood. Everybody thought they would. It was hard to make a case for the Kangaroos today. No Jess Sinclair, no Stevens. Mark Rasciuto's form was fantastic. The captain certainly flew the flag, but he had no help today. David King, the leadership group of the Kangaroos, far superior. They deserved their win, and they probably deserve to win by a lot more.
Well, the Kangaroos are famous for a club that can win when their backs are against the wall, when everybody writes them off. No one was expecting this afternoon over here in Adelaide. Adam Simpson, magnificent with 29 possessions. Here he is with Troy Gray.
29 possessions, fantastic effort. The boys are jovial. How does it feel?
It feels great, especially after losing a couple of close ones in the last month. So important we won that last quarter, and to the boys' credit, we did that.
Is it frustrating to know that you're capable of playing such good football, even away at home at a place like Amy Stadium?
Yeah, look, we think we've travelled pretty well to Amy Stadium. We've lost the last couple, but we had a lot of self-confidence today. So look, we've got a lot of young players, and it's going to take a few years to develop, but you never know.
Obviously no finals this year, but there must be so much to look forward to, because that was quite inspirational considering you were underdogs today.
Yeah, look, I think the weather helped us as well. So, I mean, they had a lot to play for, and it was just a sensational win.
Congratulations, all the best.
Nice.
Wonderful performance from the Kangaroos. And if ever you were going to face a side, Chris, that had their backs to the wall and you desperately needed to win the game, you just wouldn't want to play the Kangaroos, would you? They are just such a proud combination, the boys from Arden Street. They've had a very, very frustrating 5 or 6 weeks Lost 4 of their last 5 games. A couple they really could have won against St Kilda and Fremantle to end their finals chances. Could have turned up today and gone through the motions, but this was their grand final.
They absolutely thrive on that us against them mentality. No team does it better. They had no right to come here and win this game of football. The Crows with everything to play for, near full strength, the dream team forward line back in. A little bit of rain, maybe might have evened it up a fraction, but the Crows can play well in wet weather footy. But just far superior. Great for Sav Rocker, had a real influence on the game after quarter time. But Simpson, Harris, King at ground level, Shannon Grant, so dominant. And Dean Laidley, who was doing it tough early, plenty of reason to smile.
They really did control the game from the opening 10 minutes of the contest, and they'll sing this with gusto. Great win for the Kangaroos.